Justice Crane, we elect judges in Louisiana, do we not?
We do.
And we have elected judges, our people have decided to elect judges for a long, long, long time, haven't they?
As long as I can research, yes.
Are you responsible for that system of choosing judges?
Not at all.
When you run for judge, can you solicit campaign contributions?
You cannot.
You've run 3 times.
I have.
Have you ever solicited a campaign contribution?
I have not.
You have to go through a committee, do you not?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, one of my colleagues, not Senator Welch, suggested that you live in the left front pocket of the oil and gas industry. Is that true?
That is absolutely not true, Senator.
Do you live in anybody's left front pocket?
The only pocket I live in is the rule of law, Senator. And I think that my record reflects that.
That's certainly been my experience. I just wanted to clear that up.
Thank you, Senator.
Mr. Duva, you've heard the expression lawfare, have you not?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean to you?
Well, I think lawfare gets to the alleged weaponization of the Justice Department and things.
What does that mean?
Well,
What's
it's
up,
a term
Patriots? Welcome back to Liberty Trigger. Today I'm reacting to a powerful exchange in the Senate between Senator John Kennedy, Justice Crane, and Mr. Duva, an exchange that shows exactly what's at stake in America's justice system right now. So let's dive in.
Well, it's a term that's been used quite a bit. I think it means that the Justice Department becomes the tool of a sitting president or the Congress or whoever to do its bidding and that only, and not follow the law, not follow the facts as applied to the law. What we will do is not do that. We will do the converse of that.
Why is that dangerous?
Because it leads to bias, it leads to improper prosecution, it leads to messes in courtrooms. There's a reason there's a justice manual. There's a reason that there is Rule 6E.
I don't want to talk about the manual. I want to talk about just basic human decency and common sense.
It also erodes the faith of the justice system and our citizens.
Okay.
That is dangerous because it is based on those citizens where the end result, the citizens become jurors. And we need jurors to have confidence in the Justice Department and the prosecutions that it brings and to fairly evaluate cases.
Let me put it this way. Our judicial branch doesn't have an army, does it?
It does not.
Okay.
Senator Kennedy starts by pointing out that in Louisiana, judges are elected. Now, a lot of people think judges should just be appointed and insulated from voters. But personally, I love the idea that they're accountable to the people they serve. When judges are elected, they don't get to sit in some elite tower. They still answer to the citizens. Justice Crane also made it clear candidates can't even directly ask for campaign donations. And he's run 3 times without soliciting one. That is how our justice system should work. Accountable, but not corrupt. Then Kennedy brings up something that's all too common today. Someone tried to smear Crane by suggesting he's controlled by the oil and gas industry.
Okay. Our judicial branch at the federal and the state level depends on its legitimacy for enforcement. I mean, people have to believe that justice, even though they may disagree with the result, people have to believe in the integrity of the system, do they not?
They do, because as I mentioned with jurors, if they don't and they're selected on a jury, they're not going to follow the judge's instructions to evaluate the cases based on the facts in the law. So it depends on the citizens to help us with the end result. And if that's eroded on the front end, it's eroded on the back end.
All right. If I'm a candidate for district attorney, is that a principle that you agree with?
100%.
Okay. And you not only have to believe that the defendant is guilty, you have to believe that you can prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, do you not?
You do. You have to have the facts. Without the facts, you have nothing.
Okay. Is that a principle that you possess?
I do, and that's how I've operated for 18 years.
Okay. And you also have to believe, do you not, that the prosecution is in the public interest? Is that correct?
You do.
Okay. Now, if one of your superiors came to you, well, let me answer the question for you for how I would do it. If one of my superiors came to me and said, look, you got to prosecute this case, and I looked at it, and either I didn't believe that the defendant was guilty, or I didn't believe I could prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, or I thought it was not in the public interest because it would undermine the integrity of the criminal justice system, I would resign.
You would decline the matter.
Sir?
You would decline the matter for sure.
Right. And if they told me, if my superior said, look, Kennedy, you know, what planet did you just parachute in from? You don't have a choice. I'm your boss. I'm telling you to do it. I would resign. How about you?
I have no problem doing that. I would first just say, we're not doing this case, and here's all the reasons, and the discussion could go from there.
Okay. And if you were told to do it or quit, what would you do?
I'd quit.
Okay. Would you ever advise a client not to follow a federal court order?
No, sir.
I appreciate that. Appreciate you not qualifying it. If it's okay to disagree with a federal judge ruling, isn't it?
I often have.
Yep. It's okay to appeal it.
Absolutely. We have an appellate section. It's one of the best sections in the criminal division.
Within the bounds of legal ethics, it's okay to criticize it, isn't it?
Yes, internally.
But you got to follow it, don't you?
You do, absolutely.
Because that's called the rule of law, isn't it?
It is, and without that, you have anarchy and no confidence in the Justice Department.
I appreciate it, and I appreciate the frank answers.
Thank you, sir.
No proof, just a political hit job. And it's the same playbook we see every day. Can't beat someone on merit? Attack them personally. Crane answered perfectly. The only pocket I live in is the rule of law. That's the kind of response more officials should be giving. Next, Kennedy asked Mr. Duva about lawfare. And if you haven't heard the term, it means weaponizing the legal system to punish political opponents. Let's be real. We've all seen signs of this in recent years. The justice system is supposed to be blind. It's supposed to follow evidence, not elections. Duva explained that when you start prosecuting people based on politics, you get bias, you get improper prosecutions, and courts start falling apart. Because here's the truth. The judicial branch has no army, no tanks, no force other than the trust of the American people. If citizens stop believing the courts are fair, the entire constitutional system collapses. Kennedy then asked the million-dollar question. What if your boss orders you to prosecute someone you don't believe is guilty, or you don't believe you can prove it? Both he and Duva agreed. You refuse, and if necessary, you resign. That's integrity. A prosecutor is not supposed to go get somebody. They are supposed to seek justice. Without evidence, you don't have a case. Without fairness, you don't have a country. Kennedy also points out that you can disagree with a judge. You can appeal, argue, criticize, fine. But in the end, you must follow the court order. Because once the rule of law disappears, you get chaos, tyranny, and eventually collapse. And make no mistake, trust in our institutions is lower than ever. If justice becomes political, America is in danger. Here's my takeaway as a patriot. This hearing shows that there are still people inside the system who believe in the Constitution, fairness, and due process. But we're in an era where lawfare is real and the weaponization of justice is becoming normalized. If Americans start believing, the law applies differently depending on your politics. Courts exist to punish enemies. Prosecutors are political soldiers. Then the republic is already dying. We cannot let that happen. If you believe in the Constitution, equal justice, and holding government accountable, hit like, subscribe, and share this message. I'll see you on the next one.